Friends of Christ, grace to you in peace from God the Father, from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To speak about worship. Speak about worship. I brought the boys back with me. That crew from the 100-acre woods that probably knows a lot more about life than any of us do. Now, I could choose any one of this group to share the words about worship with today. I could certainly choose Eeyore, because I love Eeyore. He was my favorite. And I could certainly take a little Piglet, although he says way too many so we'll do that. And Winnie the Pooh, I mean, you can't go wrong with Winnie. He has more words of wisdom than anything. Rabbit is great, but Rabbit is kind of crappy. Tigger. That's T-I-double-R. I love Tigger because he is probably the happiest of the group in the 100-acre woods. Tigger always has a smile on his face. Tigger is always bouncing around. He's always singing. Oh, what a wonderful thing about things. This Tigger's a wonderful thing. Their tops are made out of rubber. Their bottoms are made out of spring. They're bouncy, 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 bouncy. And the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. He is always fun. He is always alive. Except for one time. And this is what happened. One time, believe it or not, Tigger lost his stripes. Now, it may have had something to do with the fact that he had to take a bath. And he sudsed up and everything was fine and he had just a great time in the bathtub until he got out. And he suddenly looked at himself. And for whatever the reason, his stripes were gone. Tigger didn't know what to do. He thought, I can't go to my buddy boys because they won't understand me. I don't have any stripes. Then he started getting depressed because he tried bouncing and he found out he couldn't bounce. The spring in his step, actually it's his tail more than anything, was gone. And so in sadness, Tigger simply turned around and walked away from the 100-acre woods. So sad. Feeling so alone. I'm going to get back to Tigger in a little bit. I'm going to let Tigger rest here. He's worked hard. I'm going to talk a little bit about, again, this third commandment. Definitely one of the big three, right? First commandment, you shall know the gods before me. We're to fear, love, and trust in God above anything else. Second commandment, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Third one, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. In easy layman's terms, I am God. Don't use my name in a bad way. Go to church. Why was it so important? God. To remind us early on in His 10 Commandments the importance of worship. Because without a whole lot of argument, worshiping together as Christians is one of the most important things that we can ever do in our life. In seminary, we had a professor who was a scholar on the theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer. and some of you know that name. From those of you who maybe have known and forgotten, Bonhoeffer was a German pastor during the Second World War who stood up not only against Hitler, but against the entire regime. Bonhoeffer preached against Hitler, preached against the Nazis. As a result of that, Bonhoeffer was arrested. Bonhoeffer was sent to several prisons, and actually 2 weeks before the prison that he was in was liberated by the Allies, he was hung by a special order of the Fuhrer for what he had done against the German Reich. Bonhoeffer wrote many, many books. And we were fortunate because one of my professors was a Bonhoeffer scholar, in fact, he was one who, if you look at a book that's written about Bonhoeffer, you will see the name Berkness on the back of it, because he kind of does a little write-up on just about every Bonhoeffer book. But out of all the Bonhoeffer books that he talked about, it was this little book here that, at least to me, is probably one of the greatest books that I've ever read. The book is called Life Together, a discussion of Christian fellowship by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. This was actually not a book that he wrote, but a series of sermons that he gave to an underground seminary that he started up after he was ordered by Adolf Hitler to never preach again. Once he do, don't preach or do anything like that. He goes and starts his own seminary and starts training seminarians. And so, in a series of lectures that were later put together after his death and published first in 1954, we have these great words about the importance of worship. And these are three of the ones that I want to share with you, because they, to me, are some of the greatest words about worship that anyone could ever write. Bonhoeffer says first, the physical presence, and I love these words, the physical presence of other Christians is a source of incomparable joy to the believer. Think about that. The physical presence of other Christians is a source of incomparable joy to the believer. One of the great things from this morning was the noise in here. To me, that was holy noise, because it was the sound of Christians together, laughing, smiling, talking about the weather, commiserating about things together. An incomparable joy. He goes on, the believer feels no shame, as if he were still living too much in the flesh, when he yearns for the physical presence of other Christians. Maybe that's something we've lost a little bit. That maybe we don't yearn enough for the physical presence of other Christians. Maybe we have forgotten the fact that when we gather together for worship, it should be one of the happiest times in the week. It should be an opportunity through word, through prayer, through song, and just in being together, that we walk away feeling a little bit better than we did when we came. He continues. The prisoner, the sick person, the Christian in exile, sees the companionship of a fellow Christian as a sign of the gracious presence of the triune God. Think about that. That just seeing another Christian tells us that God is here. God is present. Wherever two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am also. That's a promise that was given. So when we are together with even one other Christian, There is a joy beyond belief. And if there is so much blessing and joy in a single encounter of brother with brother, how inexhaustible are the riches that are open to God's people who are privileged to live with Christian followers every single day. If you want to know why worship is so important, it's because of things like this, when we are gathered together in God's name and in God's house, saying thank you, God, for all you've given to us, saying thank you for your word, and blessings and praise be to thee. We can't leave Tigger without his stripes, right? That wouldn't be nice. Tigger wandered around. Again, feeling sorry for himself. We don't know the reason why he left. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe he had a bunch of bad days. Then he remembered something. When he was back in the 100-acre woods, back with his buddies, back with his friends, he never felt that way. And so he was only going to have stripes and he didn't have bumps. He turned right back around and he went back to his friends in the 100-acre woods. And no sooner did he get there, no sooner did they fellowship together, no sooner did they eat a meal. Worship. Suddenly something happened. He looked and one by one his stripes started coming back. Tigger had his stripes back. He had his bounce back. And he had his joy back. They worship each and every time you are here. Give you your stripes back. Give you your bounce back. And put that same indescribable joy in your heart.